Hey friends, welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Oleg. This is one and only Mr. Bond. We do indeed love watches. In today's video, we're going to do a full review of this crazy micro brand from Ireland, their watch called Solas Starlight. It's a really cool watch, very interesting proposition, especially because of that micro rotor. Before we get started with the review, I just want to let you know that this version of the watch, this prototype, I am returning. I'm not keeping this watch. However, Solas said if their campaign is successful on Kickstarter, which it is successful, they will send one of these watches to the channel when it's ready. But for now, let's talk about this dress watch. We're going to start by talking about case dimensions. The watch has a diameter of 38 millimeters, so from this point to this point. It has a 44 millimeter lug-to-lug distance, so from this point to this point. The lug width is 20 millimeters, and it's only 9.7 millimeters thick. On the supplied leather strap, the watch weighs 68 grams. Here is Solas Starlight on my 7.5 inches wrist. For my size of a wrist, it wears really well. I'm glad that he went with a 38 millimeter case diameter instead of a 40 millimeter case diameter. Usually dress watches don't have big bezels, thus the dial makes up most of the diameter and makes the watch appear larger. This one here is no exception. I think even though it is 38 millimeters in diameter, it wears closer to 40, so keep that in mind. It doesn't have overly long lug-to-lug distance, so this watch can be recommended to people with smaller wrists as well as people with medium to larger size wrists. Overall, the comfort of this watch is great, and it's thin enough to slide under the cuff of pretty much any shirt. The price of this watch on Kickstarter is €368, or about 440 US rupees. Not a bad deal for the type of watch you get. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't like Kickstarter watches, so hopefully you still enjoyed the review. Part of the reason why people don't like Kickstarter watches is because of the long delivery times. In fact, the campaign only has 2 more days left, and then after that, after you order, you're waiting until pretty much May, June 2021 in order to receive this watch, which is a pretty long wait, and it does force you to exercise some patience. I should also mention that this is a prototype version of the watch, but it's pretty much the final production. I think the only other change that might happen, the movement might have some blued screws. As it is right now, it doesn't have that, but it is one of their stretch goals. So if in the next couple of days they achieve the stretch goal, we will also see some blued decorated screws in the movement. Other than that, this is pretty much what you're gonna get if you do back this campaign. Speaking of the movement, the watch has a very interesting movement, a very interesting choice for a micro brand. In fact, this is the first encounter with this movement that I personally have. The name of this one is Hangzhou 5000A automatic movement. It is a Chinese movement. It's a high beat movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has 48 hours of power reserve, a date complication, a micro rotor, and it also has a sub-seconds hand. Now let's talk about this micro rotor, because a lot of people are making big deal about this, including the company themselves, Solas. Is it warranted? Should we make big deal about micro rotors? Well, what is a micro rotor and why does it exist? Basically, it exists for 2 reasons. First reason is kind of gimmicky. The second reason actually has function. So the functional reason is the fact that the micro rotor is out of the way, thus making the watch and the movement itself thinner. So that's good. The second reason for a micro rotor is more gimmicky. It's out of the way so you can see the beauty of the movement. If you have big rotor in the middle covering parts of the movement, it's not as pleasant to look at as something like this, where the rotor is kind of in a corner and the rest of the movement is exposed for your viewing pleasure. Usually micro rotors are reserved for more expensive watches, which makes sense because they're not that easy or cheap to do, first of all. And second of all, cheaper movements aren't really that beautiful to look at in the first place, so why would you want to go through the trouble of really displaying them? So what about this movement? Well, it's kind of a gimmick, kind of a function. Gimmick-wise, yeah, the movement itself is decorated pretty well. We see some Geneva striping there. We see some pelage work, some blued screws maybe. That's going to be a stretch goal. And it looks pretty. I mean, it doesn't look as refined as something that you would find on one of the smaller watchmakers that makes micro rotor movements, or on something like a Patek. Of course, I mean, this watch costs a small fraction of the cost of those watches, so it would be silly to expect the same level of finish on this movement as the movement in a Patek. But nevertheless, it's kind of cool to look at and kind of cool to have a watch with a micro rotor movement in it for under $1,000. Now, one word of caution, this movement is unproven. It only came out last year, so we don't know what the longevity is of this movement, and really, if you buy one of these watches, you're going to be one of the test subjects, so to speak. Also, the serviceability of this movement, not sure about that. Maybe it's easy to service, maybe not so much. Another thing to keep in mind. Other than that, it's very cool choice and a cool step up, something different to your usual ETAs, to your usual Miyotas or Seiko movements. The case is made out of 316L stainless steel, all high polished throughout the case. The finish is okay. It's not outstanding, but it's not terrible. It's pretty good. For a watch for about $440, it's alright. I'd say average. It also has a classic dress watch case shape. Kind of a safe choice, but at the same time, it's not too offensive. I don't think anyone will find this case shape ugly or out of place. The crown is at the 3 o'clock position. We see a simple push-pull style crown. It's signed with the Solas logo there. Looks pretty good. The crown is undersized. Operation of the crown slightly difficult because of the size of the crown. First position to change the date. Second position to set the time. I should also mention that this is not a hacking movement. With the crown in the second position, the seconds hand is still ticking. To demonstrate a date change for you, date snaps in place pretty solidly. It feels good. It doesn't have that rolling date window like some of the Seiko movements, so that's good to see. The crystal is a sapphire crystal with some AR coating underneath. It's actually a sapphire sandwich. The inside crystal, or sorry, the back crystal is also a sapphire crystal. Really nice touch, especially for a watch in this price category. You don't see that too often. Speaking of the case back, it is a snap-on case back, not screw down. Of course, a screw down case back would add a little bit of a thickness to this watch. To achieve the thinness, it has to be a snap-in-place case back. On a dress watch, it's okay. Because of the snap-on case back and the lack of screw-down crown, the watch has 50 meters of water resistance. That's what you would expect from a dress watch. This watch has two standout features. The first standout feature is the movement with the micro rotor. The second standout feature is this dial. The dial is made out of aventurine. It's a type of a mineral. It can be mined or it can be lab created. This one is lab created, and that's why the dial has this cool sparkle. In natural light, in certain angles, the dial gives off this purple hue. Looks pretty cool. Usually it's kind of deep black with this starry sky effect. I quite like it, but it is very, very flashy. So keep that in mind. If you don't like your dress watches to be flashy, this is not a watch for you. The date wheel is at the 3 o'clock position, color matched to the color of the dial. To be honest, I would prefer this watch without the date wheel. I think the date kind of ruins the symmetry. Just get rid of it on the next version of this watch. Applied indices for hour marks, they're kind of done in the shapes of arrow tips. Not my favorite look. I think those arrow tips could be improved. Some depth could be added. They're all finished in high polish. So is the set of hands. Dauphin style set of hands here. And the watch also has a Dauphin style seconds hand on that sub dial between 7 and 8 o'clock position. Applied ring around that sub dial looks okay, but I think the look of this dial could be improved. It has a Horvin leather strap with this kind of distressed, unfinished look. Not my favorite part. I mean, there are some positives. Number one, I do like the fact that it has quick release pins, and it is a nice and soft leather strap with this nice blue stitching here. But the clasp, the finish on the clasp, not great, and the quality of the clasp, fairly poor. It does have Solas written across the clasp, but the overall quality and the feel of this clasp, not ideal. I mean, I would definitely improve that. In fact, why even bother putting a clasp like this? Just put a simple tank buckle. Now, I know what you're gonna say, why would you exchange it? I mean, yes, I do like these type of clasps. I like the fact that you don't need strap loops. The strap just kind of hides on the inner portion of the clasp. That's nice. But on a sporty watch, that works really well. On something like a rubber strap. On a dress watch, it just adds unnecessary height at the bottom. A simple tank buckle would do. The Solas Starlight offers a unique value proposition. I'm sure this movement is not cheap, and also putting that sapphire sandwich and this awesome dial on the watch, all those elements are not cheap, so value for money wise, it's actually a pretty good proposition. At the same time, $440 is not nothing. $440 is still quite a bit of money, and for that money you can get some really nice dress watches from a lot of different manufacturers and some pretty big names. So how does this watch stack up against some of the big names? If it's gonna be your first watch, I wouldn't really recommend it. It's a pretty nice attractive package, but that movement as your first watch, as your only watch, I would be a little bit hesitant to recommend it to someone like that. If you already have a pretty good watch collection and you have extra $440 and you like this watch and you were always curious about micro rotor movements, well, maybe consider this one. It is something cool and unique and different. I wish Solas all the best in the future. Clearly people like this campaign. They got fully funded and now they're very close to reaching their stretch goal. So I'm interested to see what they come up with in the future. I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We release new videos every week. And leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this Solas Starlight. By the way, today on my wrist, I'm wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2. I've done an unboxing video of this watch. That video can be found on the YouTube channel. I will also leave it linked in the description below. Also in the description below, there are a couple of other links. The first link is a secret link. Have a look if you're curious. The second link is a link to bondnatostraps.com if you're looking for a great quality NATO strap and want to support this YouTube channel at the same time. Buying one of these NATO straps is a great way to do so. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Good boy. That's it. There's nothing left. That's it. You ate it all. You ate all the snackies.